So 5 running technique drills for beginners. Hey guys, I'm Mick from Melbourne Soft Tissue Therapy and the Natural Born Runner online program. Hit a like and subscribe just to get all the new content we're putting out at the moment, and look at the link below if you want to join into our 21-day online program. Now, into those 5. So number 1, warm up. Yes, we shouldn't really have to warm up just to go into our natural kind of running style, but because of the way we live, our sedentary lifestyles, the immobility, the lack of movement we do out for the day, all of us pretty much need to warm up before we go to the run. And the warm up is all about getting dynamic, getting blood flow to the right muscles. It's not about doing any kind of static stretches. We've just got to get some dynamic movement, get the blood flowing, especially to the glutes, hamstring, calves. That's going to get you ready to go for your run. Number 2, so when you first start running, you really want to focus on the breath, because a lot of runners who are now starting to change their breath, they've already been doing it for too long, and it makes it harder to then transition more over to what we call nasal breathing. So if you are first starting to run, start by breathing in through the nose. Doesn't necessarily have to be in and out through the nose, but if you can start inhaling through the nose, that's awesome. There's so much research now behind the benefits of nasal breathing compared to mouth breathing. So if you can stay all nasal the whole time, awesome. Because you are just starting out, you're a beginner, this is a great time to get that breathing down pat. Another way of helping with this is actually thinking of your breathing in your everyday life. At work, in the car, if you're not eating, drinking, or talking, close that mouth hole, pie hole. In and out through the nose is going to change everything around your movement, your exercise, just get everything working more efficiently and make you run a lot better. Number 3, video analysis. Have a look how you run. Really hard to know how well you're doing it straight off, just running along. Everyone's got a little camera in their phone, so pop it on the side, run back and forth a few times, look at that video and see where you may improve. You're surprised what you think you may be doing that you're actually not. Even long-term runners look at themselves once in a video analysis after so long, think they're doing the right thing. Most of them are not. So it's the best feedback tool, which doesn't cost anything because you've already got it on your phone. Have a look at that video analysis just to make sure you're in sync with the correct technique as soon as possible. 4, your foot strike. Where your foot lands on the ground. That is probably the most important thing that it comes with running. You get that wrong just by a little bit, that can cause all kinds of dramas up the leg. Now you've got heel striking, forefoot striking, and midfoot striking, or what we call a tripod landing. If you are consistently heel striking, you are putting the brakes on every single time you run, every single step. And all that force, 2.5 times your body weight, is coming down in as an impact through each step, going back up into the body if you're heel striking. With the forefoot, if you're forefoot striking, that's also putting too much load actually through the smaller muscles in the calves. It doesn't allow you to get the big glutes, the big hammies to work in the way they were actually designed. We want our big, powerful posterior muscles to get us moving forward. A lot of people think forefoot is actually better than heel striking. I myself used to be like that, but it's actually a lot more damage to the body because we are putting extra stress through the smaller muscles, especially the calves. So if you know that you have weak calves or you tend to strain the calves quite often, it's probably because you're forefoot striking too much. Yes, when you go into a bit more of a sprint, you're going to come up more on that forefoot kind of landing. But if we're going for just jogging, longer distance running, we want to get what's called the tripod landing. So that is a midfoot strike. We want the big toe, the little toe, and the heel, which creates that tripod, to land all at the same time. If you think about it like this, if you drop a bowl and it lands fully on the whole lip at the same time, it makes that big suction noise. All the load is dissipated evenly. If you land that bowl at an angle on the edge, it bounces all over the place. All that impact is concentrated on one point and it goes all crazy. That's exactly like a heel strike or a forefoot strike. So we want to dissipate that load as evenly as possible by landing with that tripod landing. Number 5, pushing off. After that foot has hit the ground, the next most important thing is how you get off the ground. A lot of people tend to think they've just got to lift up their legs. Again, this is what I used to think, but new research has been done. Shout out to my man Shane Benzie at Running Reborn. He's done a decade of research through running, natural way of doing it, turning human movement into human performance. And the push off, how we push off the ground, really engages all those right muscles that we have to get us going forward, stronger, faster, and longer. So what we want to push off with is what we call the inner tripod. So again, we look at the pinky, the big toe. We then draw kind of like a triangle from those 2 points down a bit to make an inner tripod. So we're landing on the outer tripod, pushing off the inner tripod. That is going to make you push off a little bit earlier from the ground, which is going to help increase your cadence, but it's also going to engage a lot more through your big glutes. If we are pushing off too late, we're then going up more onto our toes, which is where the calf is going to get overloaded. So the quicker we can push off the ground, the more complete posterior engagement, glutes, hamstrings are going to get you powering forward. There are 5. Number 1, warm up, get that blood flowing. Number 2, breath. Inhale through the nose, ideally exhale through the nose. 3, video analysis. Get some footage of you running and see how you run, and then work out how you should be running. 4, foot strike. Where is that foot landing on the ground? We want that outer tripod landing, big toe, little toe, heel, all hitting the ground at the same time. And number 5, that push off. Pushing off from that inner tripod to get as much posterior power as possible. 5 simple things to think of as a beginner when you're running. Pop a comment down below if you need some extra help with this, but like I say, as always, look at the link below. And if you want to jump onto our online program, it only takes 21 days. You can do it at your own pace. It's got all the mobility, all the strengthening, conditioning exercises, and lots of drills to help get you back to your natural born movement and turn it into human performance.